of my videos recently, especially when I'm doing things like lipstick reviews or stuff like that. And I call it my lazy look just because I'm a working mom and a lot of times I get ready really fast and don't want to think about it. And so this is kind of my super polished, super fast way of getting out of the house in reasonable time. You will see though that I have just a multitude of products. It's ridiculous actually how many products it takes me to kind of get ready really fast. But what I like about this is really highlighter centric, and at some point I might just do a video on my highlighters because highlighters are probably my favorite product. I think they're just the easiest way to get ready super, super, super fast. And then this look also I can build on it. So I start with like a little bit of a base, and then depending on how much time I have, I'll either add a little bit more on my eyes or I will skip that altogether and we'll just go out with a stronger lip. So what I have on right now is I have a BB cream and I have a foundation primer under it, and then I also have a little bit of concealer on. If I were normally to do a video, I actually would, that's all I have on. I would actually not use a BB cream for the videos. I usually use a foundation just because the camera kind of picks up every little flaw, and there's a huge difference in how I look on camera between a BB cream and a foundation, which I don't really feel is the case in real life. So for real life, I'll actually just wear a foundation or a BB cream or a CC cream. I think I have on, I don't remember if I have a CC cream or a BB cream on. So my new favorite foundation primer, and I have tons. I like Smashbox, Hourglass, I have a bunch of them. My nose is itching all of a sudden, I don't know why. My new favorite is this green one. It's from Korea. It's Collagen is the brand, and it's called 3W Clinic Collagen Makeup Base. This I actually get on eBay, and I think I pay about $13 including shipping from Korea. I love this. The green supposedly evens out your complexion, gets rid of the redness. But I think it looks amazing, and I started getting comments once I started wearing it. And then I just have, like I said, either a CC cream or a BB cream on. Now I'm going to put on a little bit of powder. I wanted to do the BB cream and the foundation primer and the concealer first because I like to let it sit a little bit before I actually put any other makeup on, just so that it goes into my skin. I don't like the idea of putting something that's liquid and then immediately putting anything powder on top of it. I think it's gross. Just my personal. So this is just a Guerlain. So I'm just gonna dot it on. And this is a really translucent powder. And I do this to set everything, and then just because I think it actually adds something. I don't know if it does, but I believe it. So if we believe it, we do it. This is a firmer brush because this is a translucent powder. If the powder had any color at all in it, then I would use a lighter brush. So that's the next step. Then I am also a huge believer in bronzer, but I don't really have one bronzer I use. I use them differently. Pretty much every day I do a matte bronzer, and I use it for a little bit of shading on my face. And so what I'll do is I'll dot it on my chin, and part of that is just because, first of all, you get better definition, but also I live in Southern California and I am rigorous about sunscreen on my face and even the upper part of my neck, but not necessarily going any lower. So I like to even that transition out and just make it look a little bit, and then I'll just dot it on like this. And this is the other reason why I use powder. Since I have dry skin, if I don't put a powder over anything liquid that goes on my face, then it'll just suck up the bronzer and I'll have like a big streak. I'm already getting a little bit of the streak. So anyway, I'm not going to do perfect blending on camera. That's just way more than I can handle. The next step, always, this is like my obsessive step. Once I get here, the thing that really bothers me is my eyebrows go in every single different direction and I just hate it. So I have this Smashbox, what do they call it? I use other products too, but this is my favorite, Brow Tech To Go. And this one's really old, I need a new one, but I really actually just use the brush side. I have really relatively dark brows and I've stopped plucking them just because I didn't like the way it looked. Since I don't have a lot there, I don't know, I just didn't like the way it looked plucked anymore. So I don't really need to add a lot of color. Now, this is where it gets fun in my opinion. So I'm gonna do just a basic blush. The one that I used for the video is the one I'm gonna use here that got the specific request for this look. I have two basic blush brushes, and this, by the way, is naturally pink. It has a little bit of blush on it too. I wash my blush brush maybe every 3 uses. All my eye brushes I wash after every use. But this is naturally pink there. That's not the blush. So I have these two depending on how dark the blush is. So if I want a really specific look, I'll use this, and I'm going to use this for the highlighters in a minute. But I'm going to use this one because this is a light blush. So I'm going to show you two blushes. When I'm really in a hurry, or if I'm doing, what I've been doing is a lot of lipstick videos. So I did do a lot of the Almeria blush by NARS, just because I was doing some darker plum type lips. And so if I'm doing a darker lip, then I'm going to go with, usually I'm going to go with a darker blush. But if I'm doing just kind of my rush, get out the door as fast as I can, I'm going to use a blush like this one. And this is Lumiere by Chanel. It was limited edition years ago, but I'll show it to you in a minute. And the reason for using kind of a more neutral blush like this, if you can see it, and so swatch, it's just a very neutral. And I have another one that I really like, which unfortunately is also a limited edition. I'll put a little bit of this one on. This is a MAC Barefaced. But MAC always has stuff, all the companies always have stuff like this. These they're slightly brownish. They're almost like a lighter bronzer with just a touch of pink or a touch of orange added to them. The reason I like these is because then when I'm late and I don't remember what lipsticks I have in my bag and I forget to pack a lipstick, they're neutral enough that I can go with anything. And then when I'm doing a video with like lip products, it makes it a lot easier because then if I have a pink and I have a coral, I can actually do the same video without changing makeup and it looks okay. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Okay, now where we start to build. I'm gonna show you my two favorite highlighters. So I've also been using my Becca's a lot lately, and Opal is in a bag in my car and I didn't go get it, but I've got Moonstone and Topaz, and I'll show you those in a minute. But first, my two favorite MACs. For some reason I like MAC highlighters, and I like them better than the Becca. The MAC highlighters to me are a lot more finely milled. The Becca's are a little bit metallic, and so I have to be careful not to put too much on. I have good skin naturally, so I can get away with piling on a little bit of metallic highlighters, but I'm actually much better off if I don't. So my two favorite MACs, and these are also limited edition, but you can find something similar. This one right here, this was Double Definition Extra Dimension Skin Finish. So I love this finish. And I love it because it's not too metallic. It goes on really natural. And so what I would do with this one, I would actually use this one as a blush, and I wouldn't have put the other blushes on, and then I just use this one on my eyes. And this particular one is super golden, so this would be if I was wearing corals, reds, anything that I could do with a gold undertone. I also have the lightest one I have, and this one right here, I would actually use this one with a pinker or a more coral shade blush. This would go on top of it, and then I would use this on my eyes. And when I'm using it on my eyes, I'm taking a brush like this, and I'm blending it on, and then I'm taking a smaller brush, maybe like this, and I'm putting it under the eye and going all the way around like that. And what it's doing is just basically giving my eyes a little bit more of a polished look and waking them up. My other favorite MAC is called Lightscape, and I can't open it, which is really great. This is what it looks like. This is like the color, it's got all kinds of colors in it. It's like a platinum, but with a warmer undertone. And this you can see, it's just a very, very finely milled. Actually, this one I'm going to put on a little bit on one of my eyes. And since I'm actually going out in a little bit, I'm doing this. And then what I would do, this is light enough that I can put something on top of it and I won't look like a total nut. Just line the eye like this. A couple of other highlighters I wanted to show you before I get to Becca. This is a MAC with a strong pink. I would use this just as a blush, and then I wouldn't need a highlight on top of my cheekbones or anywhere else, and I wouldn't have a lot of other shimmer on if I were to wear this. And then kind of the same idea, but with a with kind of a more coral undertone to it. And so that would be the basics on the blush. With the Becca, It's actually okay that I don't have the opal. I think the Becca's Veer are very warm, and the darker they get, the warmer they get. I've actually been using a lot of topaz lately, which is the darkest. This one right here, to me, this is like a gold. And I've used this a lot on my eyes and also on top of my cheekbones when I've been doing all my plum. And I would use this for gold too. Moonstone, for me, is the perfect shade. I'm actually going to put lipstick on because this is bugging me. I can just see myself in the thing over there, and I have a little bit of foundation on my lips. It's bugging me the way it looks. Moonstone's my favorite because I think it's the most neutral, and so I find it the easiest when I want to get just a totally neutral look. I'll put a little bit of this on my eyes like I did with the other one, and sometimes I'll also use a brush like this. I'm going to put a little bit on. I'll use a brush like this just to get a softer application, especially with something like topaz, where I really don't necessarily want to build it up, although if I want to build it up, I'll use a smaller brush. So again, lining in the inner eye with one of these softer, lighter highlighters doesn't look kind of over the top, which when you use one of those eyeshadows, a super shimmer, you can look kind of over the top and artificial. So the lip color I put on right now is NARS Audacious Raquel, which on me veers a little bit pinker. And a lot of people I've heard it veers kind of brown, but on me it veers pinker. In the video that got the request, the one I was wearing was the Barely Bloomed number 700 of these Maybelline Rebel Blooms. So let me do. So these are just super nude based. So there's Raquel and there's Barely Bloomed. Super nude based. This one's so light that I was able to, I had done a black eyeliner, which I'm going to do later in this video. But then again, not overdoing the makeup. I can go and just do basically anything with that kind of a look. Next, some eyeshadows that I really like. So if the highlighters aren't quite enough and I want a little bit more of a bold look on my eyes, and by that I mean we're really just adding sheer shimmer. I have the Moon Dust Space Cowboy by Urban Decay, which is just going to give a soft little, God, you can't even see it that much because it's so light. It's like a sheer, almost a gold with lots of shimmer, but kind of a wet shimmer. And then that was my favorite for years. And then I just discovered the new ColourPop I Heart This, which is a very similar shade on. I think that was probably too fast to, you can see, just super shimmer. And what I'll do is I'll put that just on my eyes and then line it also, and it gives just a real pop where my eyes just stand out a little bit more, but it looks very natural. So when you're doing a darker lip color, or just you don't know what lip color you're going to wear because you're like me and you're so organized, you're having a hard time getting out of the house, it works perfectly. Another thing that I really like, which a lot of bloggers didn't like as much, is any of these super sheer, even if they're colorful, MAC shadows will do the same kind of thing. You can see it's just like a soft little lilac. It'll do the same thing, but then I actually have to worry about matching pinks versus purples and versus oranges, and get a little more complicated. So, one other product before we get to the eyes, I want to show you this Too Faced Sweethearts. This is the Perfect Flush Blush. I only have it in the Peach Beach, but this to me is almost as much of a highlight as a blush. And I'll take this, you can see it's got the gold, it's got the peach and the pink. I will take this again with my brush like this and just dot this on top of whatever blush I have, just to get a little bit more of a highlight. So kind of, if you can see what I'm doing, is I'm just putting a very neutral base on, and then I'm putting a little bit of almost sheer shimmer, and that's what I like about the Peach Beach. It's almost a sheer peachy shimmer, and at some point I'll get the candy one, the pink, the light pink one. But I tend to have a little bit more of an orange undertone or yellow undertone, so I go with peaches when it's like that type of a thing more often than pinks, although I kind of want that blush now that I think about it. Just taking a very neutral base, matte almost, and then adding little dots of shimmer, then deciding either to go with a bolder eye, meaning like an eyeliner, or a bolder lip, and getting ready in like a few minutes. This is going to take a lot longer, but really it's a few minutes. Okay, so what I did for that video on the eyes, if I'm going to go with a nude lip like this, and I actually did this yesterday for lunch and went out exactly like this with mascara added, nothing else. If I'm going to do an eye like I did in the video in question, I did the black eyeliner because I was going to be doing some lip colors that I thought needed a stronger eye, a little bit of an eyeliner. So the way I would do just a basic black eyeliner, I can't wear like a cat eye thing. My eyes are too round and too big. It looks like Elizabeth Taylor in the Cleopatra movie. It's not an attractive look. Very campy. So what I do is I'll start with a very soft kohl pencil. Like this is a Lancome, what's the name of it actually? It's called La Kohl, I think, Black Ebony. And I will I'm not gonna be able to do this on camera very well. I'll just line I call it the upper water line, only because the black eyeliners look a lot better on me. I'm trying to think why. I can't do a super harsh black eyeliner. In fact, I can't do super harsh liners at all. And this just somehow pulls it together. When I do it, I do a soft one like this, a kohl, because it bleeds. And then I go all the way to the corner, inner corner of the eye, and all the way to the outer corner of the eye. That's like the most important thing to make it look natural. Well, not natural, right? It's black in your eye. To make it look polished. So there we have, and then what's gonna happen, you'll see in the video, I don't know if it's because I have watery eyes or just because it's such a soft black liner, it's gonna migrate down, but it's gonna migrate more as like a gray instead of a full black, which looks a little bit better on me than just if I were to take the black and now do it there. For the video, and this was kind of fun, I was just playing around, I like doing this, I mixed a matte shadow with a shimmery pencil. So this is a MAC Black Line Pearl Glide liner. This is from the, what was it, Alluring Aquatics collection, but this is actually a regular collection pencil. It's just in that packaging. The way I'll do it, I do one at a time so that the eye doesn't set, is I will line as close to the lash as I can. And come under only part way, about, I don't know, a little bit over a third. And I am usually in a real hurry and only so coordinated. Then I actually use, this is from my Makeup Forever, what was it called, the 30-year palette. I used the black matte powder. So I just hate the way simple black eyeliner looks on me. So before this sets, I will use one of these two brushes to kind of soften it. This is my favorite. It's like a smoky eye brush, and then this is just a really soft pencil. And honestly, when I'm kind of softening my eyeliners, I'll probably end up using both. I use both. So I'm using just a matte, I'm using this smoky eye brush, and then I'm just very carefully kind of brushing it into the lashes, which is also going into, yeah, I'm gonna need that other brush. But it creates a softer look on me and a more of a smudged look. And then I'm going to go in a little bit like this. I'm not actually going to do both eyes for the video. Just going to do one, because you don't need to see me do it twice. I'm softening, softening, softening. And so it's mixing both the matte and the shimmer. Now, that is not actually done yet. Now I'm going to go back and take one of my highlighters, and this time I think I'm going to take the Moonstone. And so the theory behind this is I don't want anything too hard, too shimmery, too much. I want to then soften it a little bit. And then I'm going to take the Topaz, and I'm just going to put that in the inner corner, and then start mixing it in just a little bit with the black. Not a lot, just a teeny little bit. And then that makes it a little bit less of a harsh black line. And part of the reason, I'm sorry, my eyes starting to water from the kohl. That's something that happens all the time. I have really watery eyes, and it will then smudge a lot of the blacks. So this isn't gonna look quite as pretty as it looked in the video, just because I don't have the full foundation on. But as I look at it, I can tell exactly what I don't like and exactly how I'm going to fix it. I'm just going to do mascara on this side. I'll do mascara on both. And then you can see how it looks with the full black eye and without. And sometimes I actually don't do the line, I just do the black eyeliner as I did it on my left eye. And this is a black mascara since I've got black eyeliner on. What I don't like and what I'm gonna fix is I need more highlight for this look right here. And the highlight is really what makes the face come alive. So I'm gonna go back to my MAC one. Take this, I'm gonna dot some highlight right up here and mix it right in here on both eyes. This actually is how more often I'll wear this look, but I did this since that's what I did in the video. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the peach, because I think I need a little bit more color on my cheeks. And I'm gonna dot this. And then I'm gonna go back to my blush and mix a little bit in as well. So a lot of it really is just all about blending. It's all about blending, mixing, blending, and all that. So anyway, that's the look I've been doing, and it really is just, like I said earlier, but I'm gonna repeat it one more time, taking a very matte base and then adding just little bits of shimmer in different places, and then either defining lips, defining eyes, or like yesterday when I had to go to a business meeting and I wanted to look really natural, I just did a really natural lip and I just kept it like this. So that's pretty much it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix the other eye, and then this is what I'm going to wear today. And then I'm also going to smudge this a little bit more. But that's it. Please subscribe on YouTube. Comments, thoughts, suggestions. Would love to hear them. And that is it for now. Thanks.